Apple became the second most profitable company in the world in 2012, was ranked by Fortune magazine from 2008 to 2013 as the most admired company in the world, and has also been named the fifth best company in regards to corporate social responsibility. Apple's ability to create a customer service experience like no other has made them an extremely powerful and respected company. However, conditions in the factories Apple outsources to, particularly those run by Foxconn, contradict many Chinese labor laws, and to build on the great reputation of Apple, you should endeavour to improve this. Modern Western consumers value CSR, and as such, it is important for companies to engage in CSR, as it is shown that it has a positive impact on consumers' impressions of a company. While Apple has worked hard to manage their global supply chain in the past by joining the Fair Labor Association, implementing policies, and updating their code of conduct, the treatment of Foxconn employees has not greatly improved. Apple should try to uphold CSR even more than they already do, because although you currently have loyal customers who disregard some shortcomings in CSR, you may lose consumers and market share in future as this becomes more and more important to their demographic. Furthermore, encouraging employee well-being not only improves the company's image, but mental well-being of employees affects their work capacity and can lead to inflated expenses for the business in regards to reduced productivity, greater compensation claims, and higher absenteeism, and hence is definitely worth being invested in. Apple has created a wellness clinic devoted to maintaining employee well-being for those working in corporate offices through programs providing healthcare and counselling. It is called the AC Wellness Centre, and it describes itself as being an independent medical practice dedicated to delivering compassionate, effective healthcare to the Apple employee population. Over 400 employees on Glassdoor in 2018 stated that Apple provides up to $300 per year to spend on gym memberships, which does not come out of employees' pay. 1,700 Apple employees also reported on Glassdoor that with working with Apple comes part-time health insurance and flexible spending accounts that are available for use on dependent daycare or healthcare needs. On the contrary, Apple fails to maintain their CSR and well-being in the companies they outsource to. A key element in the success of Apple's company has been their ability to outsource their manufacturing and, as such, cut costs. The pressure to generate a larger profit has led to some outsourced suppliers of Apple to cut costs of production through the unethical treatment of employees, which therefore has led to bad standards of well-being in these factories, and Apple has come under fire by groups such as Amnesty International due to the harsh conditions in these factories. Although originally this ability to cut costs was very advantageous to Apple, now Apple has a loyal customer base and high revenue. They have the ability to designate a lot of money to well-being and therefore increase corporate social responsibility. Foxconn workers are subjected to 11 to 13-hour days, where breaks can be prohibited if a large amount of work needs to be done. Foxconn also employs underage workers and breaks many labor laws in China. Harsh conditions within the Foxconn factories have resulted in many suicides, riots, and strikes, and as such, productivity of workers has diminished.
Mental health already carries a significant cost to the world, with Australian $11 billion lost to mental health conditions in Australia alone. This is a significant figure that can be reduced through addressing the workplace issues directly from the source. According to Dr. Thorpe, 2017, meditation has many benefits not only in the short term but also in the long run, stating that it can assist in controlling anxiety, lengthen daily attention span, and even improve age-related memory loss. These are significant benefits to any business, as it may limit sick days taken, improve productivity, and aid in longer employee years.
In 2010, a number of suicides occurred at Foxconn's factories, which led to pressure from Apple and the media to compensate the victims' families, improve the conditions of the factories, and increase wages. While this should have led to a decrease in incidents, there was a severe increase as a result of Foxconn's misidentification of the problem and therefore misinformed policy implementation. However, manufacturing Apple products in the USA or other developed countries is not an option, as it would result in an extreme loss of profit for the company. As such, the best way to tackle this issue is to increase well-being within these factories.
Through the teaching of meditation, organisations are able to help employees achieve a state of mindfulness, allowing them to more effectively handle the stresses of work. By implementing such designs as to educate Foxconn employees on ways to meditate and relieve stresses, can reduce sick leave absences by up to 60%, which demonstrates how these services have the potential capability to provide huge benefits to companies and improve the physical and mental well-being of employees. If the mental health of these outsourced employees is not addressed, the employee's ability to perform efficient work will rapidly decrease and can lead to inflated expenses for the business in regards to reduced productivity, greater compensation claims, and higher absenteeism. As stated by Harter et al. 2002, these employees which have a greater positive perception of experiences in their everyday role are more likely to perform at a higher standard while also more likely to stay in their position for a longer period of time. This is beneficial to both Foxconn and Apple as it therefore requires less funds to go through recruitment process for new.
The best way to tackle this issue is to focus on well-being within these factories. This can be done through the Mackledora Health and Safety Support Network. It is a voluntary network made of occupational health and safety professionals who provide information, technical assistance, and on-site instruction regarding workplace hazards to workers and company organisations in the developing world. In 2001, they were used in partnership with the China Labour Support Network to provide information and trainings to workers and safety communities. They also provided technical assistance to workers filing complaints under international trade agreements. They established a 4-day training program inside a Taiwanese factory. The following year, one of the network instructors visited the factory to evaluate progress in establishing the Health and Safety Committee and found that the workers had actively been inspecting the facility, identified and implemented hazard controls, investigated incidents and conducted peer training with co-workers in a variety of OH&S topics.
Apple is Foxconn's dominant client and as such has been able to greatly influence the company as they rely on Apple's pay. As such, Apple can easily pressure Foxconn into adopting wellbeing programs within their factories if they are willing to provide some money to invest in these issues. This is an extremely worthwhile investment, as Foxconn's terrible working conditions will have a negative impact on Apple's CSR, and therefore may affect consumers and sway them not to purchase Apple's products, and will certainly damage Apple's reputation as a corporation.
By also improving the high suicide rates already observed by Foxconn employees, it will aid in increased transparency between stakeholders and may therefore increase consumer numbers. For customers, being transparent adds humanity to what's generally thought of as faceless, as it keeps companies accountable instead of allowing them to hide unnoticed. Transparency nurtures a certain level of responsibility in the part of the company, as they are required to uphold a certain level of employee and sustainable levels. When companies are transparent, customers have a better idea of where their money is going. Transparency may also be beneficial if, in the unlikely event that Apple was to fail, consumers may still be loyal to the brand due to their sustainable practices. Buffer, a software company based in the United Kingdom, saw a revenue increase of US $300,000 after they became transparent in 2013. There was a similar instance for software company Groove, whose revenue grew from $30,000 to $100,000 in just 15 months after the startup of their blogs recording all actions of their business. Although there will have been other factors that contributed to these increases, it was primarily brought upon by the transparency through community involvement, which made everyone more aware of their movement and wanted to be a part of it.
Again, these wellbeing programs include providing information and training to workers, plant-wide health and safety committees, and to community, human rights, and professional associations. Technical assistance to workers filing complaints under international trade agreements will also help. And again, technical information for grassroots organisations monitoring the performance of transitional corporations and government health and safety agencies in the global community. In conclusion, thank you Mr Cook for taking the time to listen to our pitch. We hope we have provided you with substantial information that will allow you to see the desperate need for implementing these strategies and how they can further the progression of Apple from the great company it already is. In conclusion, thank you Mr Cook for taking the time to listen to our pitch. We hope we have provided you with substantial information that will allow you to see the desperate need for implementing these strategies and how they can further the progression of Apple from the great company it already is.